Hi, my name is Temitope, and you're welcome to another episode of Law, Lifestyle, and the Basics. For those of us who are just joining me, this is a vlog where you get to learn about law in practical living. And I'm passionate about a saying in law that if I were not a lawyer, would have offended me and made me feel that law is sometimes unfair. Now, that saying is ignorance of the law is no excuse. And there's a reason why that saying actually flies. Because when you look at it, you really cannot always prove the intention of a person. Oh, I didn't mean to do this, when your action said otherwise. So ignorance is not evidential. It's not something that you can evidence. It's not something you can prove. It can be feigned, so it's not an excuse. It's not a sufficient excuse. Now, and that has birthed the passion in me that it's very necessary for people to know their rights, because what people usually do is that they take ambulatory measures. That's what we call in local parlance medicine after death. When something has happened, that's where they start to hurry around and get a lawyer. I think that it's always best to know what's right to do, and you don't necessarily have to, like other lawyers, go to 5 years undergo 5 years in a learning institution and then law school before you can be armed with those legal measures to take. Now today I'm going to be talking about something Latin. I made a video recently and I did say that one of the things we get to experience as lawyers is Latin. Phrases in Latin, sentences in Latin, and today one of the ones I'm going to share, and it's pretty important and valuable to you. You get to understand the course of the video, is the saying quid plantator solo sedit. Quid plantator solo sedit. It simply means whosoever owns the piece of land owns the property on it. It sounds fair enough, and it sounds like, what business do I have to do with this, or how does this affect me? Now, over the weekend there was a situation I was consulted about, and it was about a group of people that bought land from a family, and they had gotten blocks on it, and they realized that the family had sold to somebody else before that. In law, there's this saying that the first in time prevails. That is, for example, as is commonplace with the Omoniles in Nigeria, they sell you one piece of land and they sell the same to 4 other persons or more, and there's a contention on the same piece of land. So what happens? That's why the law says that the first person in time gets that property. Now, in this particular case of consultation I experienced over the weekend, one of the encouragements these Omonides will usually say was, just go ahead, build on the property. And that's saying, no, don't do that, don't be in a hurry. And that's where that Latin phrase applies, because since there's a first in time and the law favors the first in time, and the law further says that whosoever owns the land owns the building on it. So if you build yourself a skyscraper just because you want to get a piece of land and you want to have it grounded, like you want to tie that land down, it doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. When the chips are down and the matter is brought to court, the first in time owns that land. You're just giving the person an extra bonus of a piece of land. That's not fair, right? So it's better for us to do the right things by making due diligence. Having said that, what measures do we take? It's not enough to explain the negative without a bit of the positive to support us. Now, this case, interestingly, the consultation I'm referring to was a family land, and this is Africa. And we know in Africa that some fathers have many wives, and those many wives have many children. Now, for example, man marries 5 wives, so obviously from that man you have 5 branches of the same family. Now this usually happens, and the man owns a piece of land or some acres of land, and he devolves on his successors, those children, and they want to sell. It's not possible for one person from one family or one branch of the family to sell land jointly owned by all members of the family. So the law requires that principal members of the family, for example, I'm a firstborn from my mother's side, another firstborn will be principal, or whosoever they elect will be the principal member of each branch. So they have to, append their signatures to the documents, and if they are illiterate, their thumbprints and all of that. So you see, this is a very mighty serious business. There's no hastiness. I would advise, this is what I would recommend. If you're buying a land, make sure you do an investigation, especially trace the historical title of that land. If it comes down to a family, ensure you have a meeting, if possible, with the family, principal members of the family, just to ascertain that whomsoever is selling to you, has the consent of other members of the family. If possible as well, make sure you have documentary evidence. It could be pictorial, it could be a video. Why are you doing this? Because down the line, as an owner, probably it passes on to your successors in the title, probably you sell subsequently, or probably your children will have that property. What's going to happen when they're not there to explain how you got the land? Yes, there are documents, but what if there were denials about principal members did not sign this and that? You have the evidence. See where the evidence comes to play, because in law, oral oral evidence cannot contravene documentary evidence. It's your words against theirs. That's how life is. How do we know we're speaking the truth when there's no evidence? So you see the place of documentary evidence. So do not be hasty. Lifestyle tips here. I've been told and I've learned, you don't take decisions when you're excited or when you're angry. I'm sorry for that break. You don't take decisions when you're angry or when you're excited. You take decisions when you have the full presence of mind. Alrighty, so there's scriptural backing for that. A man without self-control is like a city broken down without walls. So make sure that you take it slow and do not get in a hurry to do things. Alrighty, this was Law, Lifestyle and Basics. My name is Temitope Olasumonyo. Kindly like, share and subscribe. It was a great pleasure doing this. Alrighty, do take care. Bye.